This video will talk about executing formula to SPSS. First, the data was taken from questionnaire which has been shared before, with total 10 questions and several questions from the consent form. The purpose of this data is to answer research questions. What are students' view on the use of Google Classroom while learning in an English class? The questionnaires was shared online with target participants is high school students from 10th grade. In the screen, Q1.1 to Q1.5 is a questionnaire that talk about students' motivation, and Q2.1 to Q2.5 is a questionnaire that talks about effectiveness of Google Classroom. Now, based on the data, I will find the Chromebook alpha and the interpretations. First, if the question is 1.1 to 1.5 that talks about students' motivation, then we will wait for the result. So, in the screen, the result of Chromebook alpha for the first variable is 0.687 for 5 number of items of questionnaires. The result is 0.687. It is quite close to 1 and make the questionnaire quite reliable for the first variable. Now we will find the second Chromebook alpha for the second part of questionnaires. But before we add questionnaire, we remove the first questions that we have noticed before, and we choose the second question that talks about the effectiveness of Google Classroom. Now, for the second variable, the results show 0.385 for 5 item questions. The results show that this questionnaire is not reliable. It's not quite reliable because it's not close to 1. Now, for the next step, I will find about the frequency and percentage of each option in a statement. For this step, we will find the frequencies of the students who are willing to do interview, their classes, their gender, and age. So for the frequencies, there are 55.6% of students who are willing to do the interview with 10 frequency of them answering yes, and 44.4% of 8 students who are choose to answer no and they are not willing to do the interview. And for the classes, there are 44.6% 0.4 of 10 EPS 1 who answered the questionnaire that I said before, and 55.6 for 10 EPS 2 who are filling the questionnaire. And 72.2% percent of boys who are filling the questionnaires, and 27.8 for the girl students who are filling the questionnaire, with a frequency of 13 and 5. Now the frequency of the age. There are 33.3 percentage of 6 students who are 15 years old, and 66.7 of 12 frequency of students who are filling the questionnaire who are in the age of 16. Now we will find the minimum, max, and standard deviation for this data. So the minimum age of students who are filling this questionnaire is 15, and the maximum of student is 16 years old, with the mean of 15.67, and the standard deviation is 0.485. Now I will find the minimum, maximum, and standard deviation for all the questionnaire. So first we have to remove this. So from the result, we can see that the frequency of question number 1.1, there are three answer that answering tidak setuju, or it's called 1 in the data, and 14 students who are saying setuju for the question. This is the frequency table of each questions. Now I will find the computing variable. First, for the first variable, we have to move the question number 1.1 and 22 under 1.5 to the right box to find the total variable. And the target variable is motivation total. Then click OK. The result is shown here. So this is the result of motivation total, and I will do the same for the second variable, for the effectiveness of Google Classroom. But first we have to remove this and do the same like before, one by one. And here, target variable is the effectiveness. Then click OK. Now we can see the result of motivation and effectiveness of the variable. I will make the decimal to 0. Now to find the correlation formula, we add this motivational total of students total and effectiveness total, and then click OK, and then the result is showing here. With the from this correlation formula, I will find the direction, strength, and p-value. For the directions, we can see here the result is 0.329, which is closer to 1, and the direction is positive. And then for the strength, this questionnaire is closer to 0, which is let's call it strength. And for the p-value, this is showing the result is showing 0.183, which is bigger than 0.5. So the result is this questionnaire, both of these variables, is not reliable to use. I think that's all of my video. Thank you.